Hey everybody, how's it going? Chris and Andrew here. We are doing a 4-week teaching series called Collision of Kingdoms, where we're looking at how the gospel and politics intersect with one another. As a part of that series, we've been taking questions from our church family, from others, and we're taking some time to answer those questions. And so today's question is this: how should a Christian respond to a government body that is actually enacting unjust legislation?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I'd say number one, just pray. Like our hope and our authority is not in our government, it's in Jesus. And Jesus has said, all authority in heaven and on earth is in his hands. Like he has it all. And so we know that it's not our government who's ultimately in authority, it's Jesus. And so I think whenever we see something that's not in line with Jesus' will, we go to the top. And the top isn't your government body. Your top is first and foremost Jesus. So yeah, pray, get on your knees. Second thing I would say is, especially in our country, we have means of actually feedbacking our government, of saying, hey, we disagree with this. And so I think, as a whole, Christians are probably, I would say, like politically lazy. And so we have these means of like writing to our MPs or MLAs and saying like, hey, we disagree with this direction, here's why. And I think we need to do that with graciousness. We need to do that out of love. But we do have those means of actually feedbacking our government. So I think we need to be active and actually have a political voice. So if you've never written a letter to your MP or your MLA, you probably need to start like looking at some of the things that are coming across and just becoming more active. And I know from talking to MLAs before that, they kind of look at things in blocks. So if they get like 10,000 letters from someone, they think that for every person who isn't writing, it represents 10 people who are, every person who is writing, it represents 10 people who aren't, something like that. And so if they get 10,000, like that represents 10 times that amount. So the more Christians that get involved, the more you're actually going to have a voice. So I think I would just say, yeah, let's do that more. Let's be more proactive in that sphere. And then I think there does come a point when you actually have to act in I think politically relevant ways. And I would say first and foremost, our ways should be peaceful. Yeah. There are examples where I think.
Let me just be clear. You're talking about like kind of peaceful demonstration.
Yeah, peaceful demonstration.
Like making your voice heard.
Yeah. And I think again, this is where we really have to be careful about how we do this, because it's one thing to kind of have a peaceful demonstration, but it's another thing to kind of just come across as like you're whiny because your rights got taken away, right? And so I think we got to pick and choose the things that are going to be the most important to actually get to that point. And I would add, like, I think we live in a country where this isn't at this point the reality, but there are times when Christians have said like we have to do something more active against the government. So I would think of theologian Dietrich Bonhoeffer, who lived, he lived during World War II, and he saw the persecution that was happening to the Jewish people. He saw the way that the government was interfering in the church, and he actually joined a conspiracy to see the elimination of Adolf Hitler. Mm-hmm. That's like an extreme case, and I know from his story that he fully knew that there were consequences to his actions. That when he decided that this is what he was going to do, he said, like, I know that those who live by the sword will die by the sword, and he did. He died by hanging. So I think, it may come to a point, and I'm not a pacifist, so this maybe is part of where I come from here, is I do believe there are times when Christians should lay their lives on the line for the sake of others. Mm-hmm. But again, I don't think we have ever come to that point yet here in Canada. So anyone who's kind of thinking along those ways, like, I think they're probably a little misguided in that.
Totally. Yeah, it's good.